Every room you enter is a chance to create opportunity, impact, and connection. But if you don't know how to show up with power and presence, then you miss your moment. And this eats me up because honestly, too many brilliant people are shrinking in rooms they were meant to shift. I'm Erin Cole. I'm the founder of Heartbeat Communications. I am a communication strategist, a storyteller, and a professional MC. And I've been on more than 500 professional stages. And this is what I know. Let me tell you what I know. The same skills that you use to command a stage are the same skills that you use to show up and own any room. Welcome to the Owning the Room podcast. And I hope you enjoy this episode. You know that feeling when someone does something really generous for you out of nowhere and you just feel like, oh my God, why did that happen? I got to return the favor. You know, if you're in the line at Starbucks and you pull up and the person says, oh, the person in front of you already paid for your drink. And you think, what? So you're elated and you may not pay for the person behind you's drink, but you're instantly feeling, I got to pay it forward. I got to do something. That's human nature to do something for the next person. And that's what I think about when I think about my guest today on Owning the Room, Mr. Alton Cryer. A few years ago in 2020, when events went silent, so I've been doing live events all my life. And for a long time, my dad, who's been a realtor for 20 years, he said, Erin, you'd be a great realtor. You love people. You know how to live on a little or a lot. And I just think you'd be a great realtor. So just before COVID, I had gotten my real estate license as a nice to have. But when COVID hit, I had to use it. And y'all know, I had my dad in my back pocket to give me all that wisdom. But the person that I called over and over and over again with that fresh insight about real estate was Alton Cryer. He is a realtor's realtor, y'all. He hasn't been in the game that much longer than me. I've been in real estate about 5 years. I don't know how long we'll find out how long he's been in the game, but he has already been in the multi-million-dollar club over and over again, meaning that he's selling a lot of houses or he's selling them at high volume. He is in the top 20% of production, meaning that he's at the top of his class in doing that. And he does all of this while being the founder and still operating, setting the standard, which is an organization that calls young people up to excellence in everything that they do. He's also the loving husband of his wife and a father to 3 boys. Y'all, give it up for my friend, Mr. Alton Cryer.
That was cold.
Yeah, was it?
Hey, man,
That was you.
Oh man, that's really
Yeah,
good.
it's all true, right? Because
Yeah,
you knew that.
I hope so. It is.
How you doing? I'm so glad to have you
I'm
here.
good. It's good to see you too, man. And I actually forgot about that conversation that we had about you going into the industry, man. You know, and so it was an honor, actually. You know what I mean? To be able to reach out and
I'm glad.
Because you played a pivotal role in my life as well. Just been bringing the energy. We didn't know each other for years in the church, but you know, I always looked at you as like, man, that person is not afraid of nothing. They gon', you know, you're gonna speak. Your personality always speaks for yourself. So, no, I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I have seen you do a lot of different things. I mentioned some of the things in the intro. A lot of my guests are like this. And one good while, I think you were a real estate agent. You were working at a bank.
I was.
You were doing your stuff with your community development with STS. Still being a father, brother, you know, all the things to all the people. And then I think you got into lending and then done a lot of different things. What made you go all in on real estate? Did something happen, or what just made you say, okay, I'm just gonna lock in and this is what I'm doing?
Well, you know what? As most people's story when they get into real estate, it finds you.
Yeah.
And so one of our board members, Cedric Brooks, who had been in the industry, you know, back in the 2000. Well, back in like the 1999, 2000s. He was on our board. He was getting his license again. And he said, hey, man, are you interested in getting into real estate? I never thought about it, but, you know, it's something that sounds pretty cool. And it found me. And I ended up taking the test. I went all in. I was listening to YouTube videos all day. I was studying, you know, at a very high pace as I wanted to be done. And so in 90 days,
okay, wow.
I took my test. I actually failed the legal portion. I passed the national portion.
That's easy to do.
I know, right? Because I hate to say it, but I'm terrible at compliance, if you will. but I ended up taking it again, and I passed it, and I ended up getting my license. You know, 90 something days later.
Okay.
And so it found me,
Mm-hmm.
and ever since then, it kind of aligned with some of my community work,
Mm-hmm.
because it's all about serving
Yeah.
others.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found a connection, right? And because I was such a people first person,
Mm-hmm.
it worked well for this industry.
Yeah.
And it found me, and I've been, man, blessed to be able to do it, man, these number of years. And you know, it takes a lot out of you.
It
And I know,
does.
you talk
Mm-hmm.
about doing all these things, and you realize that you may
Mm-hmm.
be doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
And how I found it out was, man, it was during the peak of the real estate market at 21,
Mm-hmm.
2022.
It was
It
crazy.
was crazy, right? It
Mm-hmm.
was a,
Multiple offers
come
on
on,
every house,
yeah,
showings back to back to back.
there you go, there you go.
If you came in the game around 2021,
Hmm.
you thought you was
Let me tell you something.
you was the best. You was meant to do
Well,
real
come
estate.
on.
You
Yep,
balling out of
yep,
control
yep,
because it was just everybody
yep.
wanted to get in on those low interest rates.
That's right. That's right. And I
Mhm.
started 2017,
Okay.
2018. And the beautiful thing about it was, Cedric kind of taught me calling,
Hmm.
I mean, sitting down, reaching out to people. Like I had to really make the phone calls to
Yeah.
generate
So you had
opportunities.
already had some tools. You
Man,
weren't just getting easy money all of
there
it.
you go,
Yeah.
there you go.
Hmm.
And I think that's the blessing in disguise.
Hmm.
Starting in the industry before that,
Yeah.
before the boom time, was knowing that how to connect with people, how to make your phone calls,
Hmm.
et cetera, et cetera.
Hmm.
And like I said, man, it was booming at the time, and I was showing houses. I
Hmm.
was involved in the community. I
Hmm.
played flag football. I was out golfing.
Hmm.
I was very active at the same time. My wife was pregnant with our
Hmm.
child, and then we had another child as well.
Hmm.
And I found myself consumed by the business and less
Hmm.
consumed with my priority, which is my family.
Hmm.
And eventually we found ourselves in marriage counseling,
Hmm.
right? Talking through what change looks like, because the way it's going on right now, it's not
Hmm.
going to work anymore,
Hmm.
right? I love my family, and I also enjoy the industry and the work I do,
Hmm.
because I find purpose in
Yeah.
going to kick it with students on Saturday and teaching them about just life and be able to help them grow as an individual. And at the same time, my family should have to suffer for that.
Right.
And so I had to make an adjustment,
Hmm.
and that adjustment was, we went through counseling. It took
Hmm.
us about 8 months. We went through different sessions, et cetera, et cetera. And what I came out is that your schedule has to change.
Hmm.
I have power over my schedule,
Yeah.
right? I have a power over my time, and I cut Sundays. Sundays were
Mm.
literally no working on Sundays. All calls stop after 8:30.
Hmm.
And this is a pivotal moment. I'm like, man, look,
Yeah.
I'm getting money, babe.
Yeah.
Like, this is for you.
Uh-huh.
In reality, it was they're a beneficiary of it. But if I gotta lose you in the process,
Hmm.
I'll take you
Hmm.
versus these experiences.
Yeah.
And so I had to refocus,
Hmm.
and it was a beautiful thing. I made adjustments, and I learned from the experience. My wife, she understands the industry
Hmm.
as well now, and it's a lot about communication. So I've been saying all that, all those things, that resume sounds great, and at the same time, it has to be done in the right season.
Hmm.
Because if not, it can impact the things that are most important to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Real estate is that kind of business where I'm not saying I do this, but you in the shower, you hear the phone ring, you like, hello?
Yeah,
You straighten yourself up
yeah,
because
yeah,
you want to be available. You don't want to miss out. So, but I love how you talk about creating
yeah,
boundaries and enforcing boundaries
yeah.
essentially.
There you go.
And that is a way that I think you own the room so well. Like
Mm-hmm.
you show up in a space and make your presence known.
Mm-hmm.
That presence opens up opportunities
Yeah.
for you. How do you maintain that persona,
Mm-hmm.
or it just the ability to be the it guy, like that
Yeah.
people want to go to for real estate,
Mm-hmm.
while also having boundaries in place?
Man, I think it's not just be transparent. It's listening to my spirit, looking to the
Mm.
Holy Spirit, and asking, is it a time to engage in
Mhm.
conversation about real estate? Is it a time to engage about family? Is it a time to engage about faith?
Mhm.
And just listening, being an active listener has helped with that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Putting on a smile,
Mhm.
it helps with that. For years, I didn't smile
Hmm.
when I was a kid in
I
high
can
school.
only think
Yeah,
of you smiling.
I
I
know.
can't even think. Yeah.
Yeah, and so because it was dealing with some stuff, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
But man, smiling
Mhm.
and understanding, listening to people, hearing their story, asking
Mm.
very intentional questions
Mhm.
to learn more about them. is the beautiful thing. And what happens is you start asking so many questions about a person
Mm-hmm.
that they like, man, I don't know anything about you.
Mm.
Tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
And they become
So
intrigued
it's
and want.
organic.
There you go. And they want to learn more about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love people's story.
Yeah.
Right? You get to learn who they are, what they've been through, experiences
Mm-hmm.
when you get to ask questions and actively listen. And there's just a great human connection, which
Yeah.
is sometimes missing
Mm-hmm.
because of the fast pace of life,
Yeah.
right? And so, just grateful to be able to connect with people
Absolutely.
on their journey, their story. You get to learn about parenting. You get to
Mm-hmm.
learn about their needs. You get to
Mm-hmm.
learn about things that they enjoy about their life, the things that they wish was better,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you get to understand people a lot better, even
Yeah.
as being a part of this industry. So,
One of the things about real estate is that even though it's exciting and can be fun for some
mhm,
people to, buy a home or sell their home or whatever, transition is hard.
it is.
And so you're intersecting with somebody at probably the hardest time in their life, sometimes
Yeah.
at death, sometimes during divorce,
Mhm.
sometimes they're just leaving everything that they know.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's exciting, but it's still a transition.
that's right.
Yeah. So, what do you think real estate is
Mhm.
versus what people think it is?
Yeah,
What's the image that people have in their
what
mind?
I think the image is, and so I would say the image is what we pushed out,
Mm.
which is a part of our industry, showing homes,
Mhm.
looking nice, dressing nice, receiving,
Mhm.
you know, compensation
Mhm.
for the work that we do.
Mhm.
Sometimes, five-figure, six-figure checks.
Yeah.
That's what we experience. That's what we show.
Mhm.
I think the other aspect of it, other than what we show, is the advocacy that we advocate for our clients,
Yeah.
the knowledge that we have to hold.
Mhm.
We have to have a economic understanding of what's going on, not only in real estate, but from the stock market to what's going on
Yes.
politically. You have to have an understanding of what's going on industry wide.
Because you're an advisor. We're
There, there
advisors.
you go. There you go.
Mhm.
There you go. And so I think being denied,
Mhm.
right? I think being a mediator is what people
Mhm.
don't see, right? In between a transaction, working with an agent who is maybe low on their count for selling homes and may
Mhm.
need the next check,
Mhm.
versus
Mm.
somebody who is well to do and they care less.
Yeah.
And so you deal with different personality. People are very emotional
Mhm.
and maybe not as controlled
Mhm.
in their thinking. You have to deal with all of that,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And so I just understand people don't get to see that. They don't get to see the mediation. They don't
Mhm.
get to see some of those things that we
Yeah.
do, and also some of the weight that we carry of knowing that somebody is selling their mom's home that they lived in all their life,
Yes.
right? That you are helping someone buy their second home that the person that their loved one passed in and they move
Yes.
somewhere else.
Mhm.
Or you're just saying, hey, look, this person wants to sell their home and they get to take their capital and put it into a retirement account or buy a next
Mhm.
investment property,
Mhm.
right? That's why we have to be in the middle of the road
Yep.
and make sure we advocate for our clients and understand their needs versus putting our needs over them of getting paid or putting a post on social media that we had a house that sold,
Mhm.
um, but that we are considering their needs because of our fiduciary duty and being advocates for the client.
Yeah, I was going to ask this question, but I think you actually answered
Mm-hmm.
it. You bring up fiduciary,
Mm-hmm.
which literally means faith
Mm,
in protecting
mm,
what matters most to someone else.
yeah.
And so it's one thing to like stand up and own the room for yourself, to
Mm-hmm.
be a good communicator, to create more opportunities for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But as realtors, our job,
Yeah.
like, I think it looks flashy to some people, but it's like, it's actually one of the most humble things you
Oh
could do,
man.
because our job is to advocate on behalf of somebody else,
Yeah. Yeah.
to make, think only about that other person's
Yeah.
best interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's selfless. It is
Yeah.
a selfless industry, whether you know it or not. However,
Mhm.
we can make it about ourselves
Mhm.
in the process,
Yeah.
right? When you remove the person that you're serving out of the
Mhm.
way and you place yourself, that's when this is no longer for that person. This is
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole idea of commission breath comes,
Mhm.
right? Where I need to get this paycheck and I need to get this sale
Mhm.
versus I need to serve,
Mhm.
right? And it's, we have to understand how do we put service over a sale? Because in
Yeah.
reality,
That's so good.
this is not a transaction.
Mhm.
This is an opportunity to serve, right?
Mhm.
And this won't be potential to last person outserved.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of times it is transactional, and you miss out on the opportunity to get a referral after referral after referral, or just a great experience from a person.
I would rather cut. I don't subscribe to cutting your commission,
Yep.
but I would rather cut it
Yep.
and not have that
Yep.
and have other business than to like always be about that
Yep.
that one thing.
Yeah, and you make in this industry, you make adjustments, right?
Yeah.
You say, hey, somebody need their house clean. Okay, cut $375 for my check. I'll get the house clean.
Yeah.
Right. It's
All the
about
time.
it's about
All
getting
the
it's
time.
about getting the deal done. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, because a lot of times us as agents or individuals in the industry are emotionally engaged, or so emotionally tied to the check or emotionally tied to the outcome, we cannot, sometimes we forget what the goal is. You know what I mean? And so I'm not emotionally tied to the outcome. We close on the house, phenomenal. If there's some hiccup along the process, let's focus on that versus the outcome itself. Let's just do the work, and it's gonna get done. So,
yeah, absolutely. I love that. You have recently gotten more into luxury real estate, and how have you seen that change how you um, are in just traditional real estate?
Yeah. It's actually not that much different, right? Luxury is not a price point; it's an experience, right? So, how do you provide white glove service to a person that's buying $100,000 house or a $2 million house?
Yes.
How do you stay in make sure you're informed about the details and communicate at a very high level? Somebody buying their first $250,000 house versus
Yeah.
somebody's buying a $1.5 million house. It's all actually the same. The only difference that I've seen working with luxury clientele is that it's a luxury item. And so nobody needs a $2 million house. They want a $2 million house or want the amenities that come along with it. Right. And so a lot of times we put our needs and our wants on things what people may need in their house. No, I want a media room, and it's just a media room. I want to make it a playroom for my kids. They can have their own room. Right. I want to buy in this area, and I don't mind paying the cost what it costs
to live in this area.
Yeah. Right. It's a luxury item.
Right.
And I think also when it comes to working with luxury clientele, it's discretion. A lot of times, as agents, we want to share who our clients are. We want to post about it, which is
yep.
But you can, and at the same time, there's a level of discretion that you have to understand. Yep.
But should that same level be carried, the level of discretion that you carry with a luxury client, be carried with your regular client?
Based on it's not a price point; it's an experience.
Yep.
So for me, we provide the experience with everybody. Yep. So if you look at my social media, you will never know who my clients are. You don't know if they work at Walmart, or you don't know if they work at FedEx, right? And it's that level of discretion. Now, if they want to share it, they can, and I'll share that. But most of everybody who I've closed the house with, personally don't take pictures. I don't pop bottles with my clients. I provide a service. You paid me to you brought me in. You hired me to provide a service to you, and that's what I'm coming to do. Right. The gift I give you, if it's a Joe Malone candle or if it's a gift card to Capital Grill, that was just a thank you for the opportunity to serve you. Yeah. Right. And I'm not making a big deal about it. And so when working with any clientele, whether it's luxury or traditional traditional buyer, it's man discretion. Yeah. Right. And it makes a big difference. So
I want to ask two more questions. We're almost out of time. You've always, let me not say always, that's a big word.
I got you.
But you have long valued the experience and the service over a sale or the money or anything like that. I know that about you from your work with STS, how you empower young people to set the standard of excellence in everything that they do. These are high school students going into college, and then I think you have some programs for college students as well.
We do.
How has that standard, how are you passing that standard of excellence on to your little boys?
Man, that's a good question, man. I think every night when they go to bed, we say, I love God, love people, love my purpose, love myself. Those are the things that we share. And I think just as, man, God has to consistently remind us of what he has called us to do and gave us some instructions to do, I do the exact same thing. That reminder that, hey, I asked you to do this. Have you done it yet?
Accountability.
Hey, stop doing that. Hey, stop doing it. hey, stop doing that.
No
And
matter how
then
many
no
times.
matter how many
Stop.
times,
Stop
and at the same time,
that.
stop it. Yeah, and no matter what, at the same time, you're gonna get a hug and a kiss all throughout the day, let you know I still love you. And it, also the expectation is this. And so that's why I teach my boys, man, is that we treat people with respect, we love the Lord, we have fun, um, be great at what you do, and it's just a consistent reminder.
Yeah.
And saying those things over and over again is how you how you communicate that standard with our students. The reason why we do so many sessions from middle school to college is because they need to see as many reminders as possible, because life comes along and may show them different.
Yeah.
But I need you to show what's possible. I need you to see what's possible. I need to show you what the version of you that's waiting on you if you do these things.
Yes.
And so I've been through that process before. I know some of the things that you're going through, but if you keep on if you go on this pathway and follow the process, I guarantee you there's something beautiful on the other end of it. And to set the standard, man. We actually have a creed that says, what do we come to do? We come to compete. How are we rocking with excellence? I'm a boss, I have more to earn. I'm a student, I have more to learn. I'm a leader, I have more to change. How are we winning? We're winning on purpose. And so we tell our students that creed, and I teach my kids the same thing to help them understand that this is a process and you're going to win on purpose, but it requires you to do these things. So
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. And how many times as adults do we still need the reminders, right?
amen. Yeah,
Like you
plenty of
said,
time.
life comes and it's like, okay, who am I? What am I here for? What is my standard?
Yeah.
How do I bring excellence into the world?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Real estate deep dive. Let's talk about a time that you had to own the room for a client, had to completely advocate, stand up for them, how that deal, you maybe thought it was going south and it went north.
Yeah. Yeah.
For how you stood up for them.
Yeah, man. I can think about two, and one actually is most recent. And one is from a student that actually graduated from my program. He ended up buying a house.
Wow.
And I think from the start of the home buyer consultation or discovery call is what I call it, and them going through the process of understanding from start to finish what to do, how to save your money, what does the loan process look like, and when it's somebody that's their first time buying a home and they used to go from home to home and place to place, that's a different level of advocacy, right? Because now I have to educate you on this will be your home, and this is a place for you and your kids, and it's not about I can tell you about the closing costs, et cetera, et cetera. But the piece that I love the most is that I worked hand in hand with the agent and with my client to get the deal done. And a lot of times sometimes advocacy can look like you getting the upper hand. And in reality, I think it's creating a win-win for both sides, right? And so my client, who bought his first home, he ended up buying another lot, and he was 20 something years old. Like that right there is.
So he's a homeowner of two homes.
Of two homes.
Wow.
Right? At almost maybe 20 something years old.
Love that.
Like that is going back for your client, right? And of course I could talk about a time when there was a deal that actually fell through due to financing. Right? It was a young lady, she was 23 years old, buying her first home. She went to search with her parents, and unfortunately uh, one of the lenders ended up giving charging her discount points for her interest rate, which bumped her closing costs up, 5 figures.
Yeah, and the financing didn't work.
And the financing didn't work, right? Got connected with one of my preferred lenders. She ended up getting the deal pushed through. We ended up actually closing it in the same time frame as we would with the other lender, and it saved her every bit of about $15,000.
Wow.
In closing costs at 23 years old, right? And so you think about moments like that, like that is a win, right?
Oh my gosh!
And
owning a home at 23,
come on,
she's going to be set up for such just a stronger financial future.
There you go.
Let that equity sit.
Yeah, let it sit, let it build up. And her parents were able to experience that with her and go through that process with her. And so they were telling me, and I'm, not that they were just like, man, thank you, right, for advocating for my daughter and directing her in the pathway. And I actually told her to go with my people in the first place, but she did. But it's all good. It's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's what it looks like. When you understand what your people need,
Yeah.
you can advocate properly.
Right.
When you understand what they want, you can advocate properly. A lot of times we advocate based off of our needs and what we want
It ain't
versus
about
what
us.
it ain't about us. So yeah,
That's so good.
yeah,
So good. I
yeah.
love those. I love how young they are. I just want to say thank you for coming on the On
Appreciate
the
you.
Room podcast. Thank you for how you show up and then you embody
Mm,
this. I believe you are the kind of person that shifts the room when you walk into it. So thank you for showing up, not just for the people in your life picking up the phone,
yeah,
but also, I'm sure, even more so for your family
yeah,
and those that are closest to you.
for sure, for sure.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate you.
Hey, if you enjoyed that episode, I hope you did. Share it with somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, all the things. And if you want to keep up with how you can own your own room, check out the show notes for more. I hope to see you next time.